This video is for On. I have a gift for you. Something I've been wanting to give you for a couple years now. Something that makes shoes better and anyone who wears them better. And the world a better place. It's a win-win solution that helps everyone flow their best. I'm the CEO and founder of Roger That, based in Zurich, Switzerland, and we measure people at peak performance when they achieve the flow or the zone. You see, something miraculous happens to anyone who experiences a flow experience, whether it's creativity or productivity or efficiency or being an athlete like Roger, winning matches or breaking records. The flow is an amazing experience, and there's now a science behind it, and it's measurable. And we filed numerous patents, including a way to tokenize it and reward anyone who gets into the flow and the products that help them get there. And I would like to gift this to On so we can embed this in the shoe and inspire more people to flow their very best. I recently tested some of these inventions on my very own mother. She was suffering from anemia and hadn't walked in about 3 years. So I modified an On shoe so she could walk again. In fact, there's a video link down below where she walked on stage at my keynote presentation at the Female Innovation Forum in Zurich, Switzerland in August of 2020. Before then, I called my mom and said, "Mom, here's what I'm thinking of doing." And she's like, "Oh, honey, I don't want you to lose your job. Please don't." And do you remember? I said to you, "Do you think that's what Martin Luther King's mom said to him?" I mean, he got shot, okay, but still, it's all about being true to who you are, no matter what. And that's what Steve stood for, and that's what Apple actually still stands for, right? It's being true to who you are, right? Even the crazy ones, the ones who are crazy enough to think they can change the world, usually do. And I can remember growing up, my mom actually thought I was retarded because I was so different. And people still think I'm crazy. But you know what? They used to think Steve was crazy too, until he wasn't. Because he could see the future. And this is what started to happen to me. I started meditating like he did. I started getting quiet. I started going in instead of out. And then something changed. It didn't happen overnight, but it was big. And, starting with falling in love. That'll change you. You become your true self. When you fall in love, you become the best version of yourself. And so what happened on my journey here to Switzerland is, and meditating now a lot more and getting quiet again, and just all of a sudden I received an idea that gave me goosebumps. And it's just so perfect that you opened this with the fact that you got goosebumps, because when you feel goosebumps, that's the truth. That's when you're actually resonating with the highest truth and the highest value of who you are. Right? So next time you get goosebumps, that's big. And that's actually one of my inventions, is to measure it. Because the greatest innovation that's happening right now has nothing to do with technology. It has to do with humanity. Humanity is going through a phenomenal change right now, and it's good. And I can tell you, because I can see the future, it's win-win. Whenever win-win comes in, everything else becomes obsolete. You cannot compete with it. And so now we have this invention of the blockchain came. It really only got my attention a couple years ago. I was like, oh my goodness, this is big. This is bigger than the internet.
Why? Why is it so big? It brings the power home. It brings the value home to each of us. It takes the middleman out. And now there's a way to take anything and store it in a digital non-thing and transfer it directly to anyone in the world with nobody in between. Do you know how empowering that is? It's extremely empowering. And that's when I realized, oh my God, I've got to get on this tidal wave, right? So I started meditating again, get quiet, go in, and all of a sudden, it was, you know, you can actually look on my website and find the story. It's called rogerthat.world. I've got the story of how it all came. So I have no time right now to tell you, but I got goosebumps when it came. And it's about, how do you know when someone's in the flow? When someone is in the zone, like Roger Federer, right? What makes him so valuable? Why is he the most valuable athlete in the world? I mean, he's not just a Swiss treasure, he's a world treasure. Why does everyone love him so much, right? Why does everyone love Steve so much? What makes people valuable? Well, I figured out the value, it's not in the stuff, it's not in the things, it's in you. We are the value. We just have to figure out how to mine it, right? And the best way to get that is to get into the flow. Literally the flow, your life force. And when you get there, you get goosebumps. You do. You may not think you do, but I filed lots of patents. That's what I've done most of my life. And I filed some patents worldwide on what I'm about to tell you. And I did that to protect it, to make sure that no one can stop it. We are going to measure each of you. It might be a necklace, it might be a ring, it might be in a watch, it might be in your clothes. Elon Musk is going to implant it in your brain. You're going to get to measure yourself when you're being more true to yourself or not. So you can calibrate and cultivate the best version of you. In every single person, there's a Roger Federer or a Steve Jobs. You were born to do something of value. And until you figure it out, you might not be very happy. No one can make you happy. It's an inside job. And so I thought, this is a great gift to the world, to help everyone figure out, when am I being true to me and when am I not? And you know what? Like the ladies who spoke before me, you're going to know exactly who to invest in. Because the people who are flowing when they're talking about what they love to do and what they believe in, they're going to make it happen. They've got power. They've got value. It's going to happen. And they're going to literally be glowing. So you won't be thinking through, well, is this right? Is this wrong? You're just going to have this knowing. And that's what happened to me. I just got this knowing. And that's like really weird for an engineer to say. Right? Engineers are thinkers. But I'm kind of like a physicist who became more of a metaphysicist, right? Or a blending of the two. Because I realized the things that are the most valuable aren't things anymore. Everyone wants to be happy. Everyone wants to feel their potential and realize who they are and what they came here to do. Everyone wants that, right? So I'll leave you with, one application, one personal application, okay? Because I could give you lots. And as I said, if you want to check it out, go to rogerthat.world and find out a little bit more about these inventions I'm talking about and how to flow. And, because to me, that's the future, is humanity. Humanity getting it. Because when they get it and they start flowing, you become a win-win person. You just start overflowing. You just have so much value. And so we're going to give the world a way to mine yourself and then share it with others in a very impactful way, the most impactful way. Because when you discover this, you just realize that life can be a whole lot more meaningful and fulfilling. And once you do, you'll never be the same. You kind of can't go back. And so when you connect with yourself and your soul and your true self, you start to overflow. You start to be able to help others find their value and find their power and their truth, and you really genuinely inspire them. Because I can't walk for her. I certainly can't dance for her. So, you get real clear about how do I help people? How do I really inspire them? And so all of a sudden this little song started to come into my mind after meditation. And I'm like, what is that song that I'm hearing in my head? And it turns out it's a Christmas song I used to hear. And it goes something, like this. You remember the song? It says, put one foot in front of the other, and soon you'll be walking across the floor. Come with me. Put one foot in front of the other, and soon you'll be walking out the door. So while she's here, so one of the inventions I came up with, I actually modified her On shoes, because I love On. And I realized she needs to ground. If you're grounded, you can flow more easily. It's a simple thing. So I grounded her shoe, I grounded her bed, I grounded everything. And so that's how she started to walk again. And I hope to bring one of these inventions to On, because everyone, whether you're Roger Federer, right, being one of the best athletes in the world, or a little old lady just trying to get to the bathroom without falling and hitting her head, right? You just want to get up. You can do it. Everyone can. So she's walking. So thank you very much, and I hope to see you again. And I hope to find investors like this. Because the only people that I will really work with is those who get goosebumps, right? You gotta be true.
The reason why I'd like to bring this to On and not Nike or some other shoe company is because Roger Federer was my inspiration. Watching Roger get into the flow and be so inspiring and so appreciative and humble and graceful, that was the moment that this was born, and all these inventions started flowing ever since. And so it's a gift for Roger and On if I could bring this together and we could share this with the world. The last time I felt this way and was sure that I had something that was of great value was when I was inspired by Steve Jobs. Steve inspired me in 1983 to study engineering. And 6 years later, I was hired by Apple Computer and designed the Ethernet. I put it on the Macintosh motherboards for the first time ever in 1991. And then I pioneered wireless, the internet, and the Internet of Things, patenting many inventions and selling them, and many companies too. And so I've done this before, and now I'm ready to do what I was born to do. And I'd like to do it with you. I'd like to bring it to On. I'd like to put it in the shoes and help more people experience runner's high, or simply get out of bed and start their day on a better foot. So if you like this idea and it resonates with you, write to me, call me, watch more of the videos down below, and let me know if you'd like to join me or let me help you bring this to more people. Thank you.